Speaker, I shall not take that long. I yield myself such time as I may consume.
Gentleman's recognized.
I will tell the gentleman from Michigan, my constituents don't have to be scared. They watch us. I don't have to tell them anything. And I'm certainly not going to tell Mr. Skinner or Mr. Price, trust us. We will retroactively, ladies and gentlemen, we will retroactively, because we're going to surrender today, we're going to retroactively pass a policy in November or December to allow you to expense something that you bought in June. Because today, Mr. Price needs to buy a loader for his mulch business. And he scratches his head. Retroactively? Retroactively? You guys don't know what operating businesses are all about if you're talking about retroactively, because that's been the narrative here. The other narrative is the Senate's not going to do it. Well, with all due respect, after the R&D tax credit debate on this floor, when the same argument was used, Senator Barbara Boxer, not someone that I agree with a lot on things, said, maybe we should look at making that permanent. Senator Dick Durbin from Illinois, a member of the Democrat leadership, opened up the possibility of, maybe we should make some of these permanent. Tom and Judy Price would be proud of Mr. Durbin. I don't know if Mr. Durbin's run a business or not, but Mr. Price does with his wife. Ladies and gentlemen, this should be about common sense. Nobody's pure here. We've all added to the deficit. I would argue that the deficit was much higher when the other side was in control. Those are numbers. Less today, less last year, a lot more in 2009. I think we'd all agree. The deficit, the yearly deficit, the debt's certainly higher. The MTR will create debt. According to joint tax, my bill will as well. But this is about job creators, about allowing them to invest to grow their businesses, to hire more employees. The American dream that my mom and dad came here to believe and live in, ladies and gentlemen. In a house that my daughter in 6th grade understands that we have a right as the House to pass a bill and have a position that might be different than the Senate's. God forgive us for having a different position than the Senate. But just because the Senate wants to do 2 years doesn't mean we have to do 2 years. I don't understand that narrative. Even some of my colleagues say, well, why are we doing this? Because the Senate doesn't agree. Give me a break, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have a conference committee for once. Wouldn't that be great? That would be grand. And we could fight it out in conference committee, just like the founders told us we should. But ladies and gentlemen, with respect to tax policy, there has been no member of the House and the Senate and the administration that has provided leadership to get to comprehensive tax reform like David Camp. He's been bipartisan, he's been open, he has provided incredible leadership. But as all of us know in looking at history, one House can't provide leadership. You need an executive at the White House who's going to provide leadership, and quite frankly, we've had none. I credit Ron Wyden, the chairman of the Senate. He's got a bill at least. He's got a draft. I might not agree with his draft, but he has a right to have a draft, and the Senate has a right to have a position. And you know what? Maybe one day we'll get there soon, Mr. Neal. I know you're for that. I'm for that. But we should have a House position. We should not surrender to the Senate. But to get comprehensive tax reform done, ladies and gentlemen, we have to have leadership in the White House. We can't do it alone. I thank Mr. Camp for his service. He has moved the ball on comprehensive tax reform greater than anybody has here since I've been here. But today is not about comprehensive tax reform, unfortunately. It's about providing certainty to small business owners, our job creators in America. This is what they want. This is what they need. This is what has been proven to be successful to allow them to expand their businesses. And today, if Tom Price buys a loader for $200,000, he has to expense it over 7 years. His cash flow is killed. And I am not going to go tell him, don't worry, trust me, we'll do it in December, retroactively. I will not do that. We need to have a position. We need to do it today. We need to do it right. This is about policy. This shouldn't be about politics. This should be about the House's position. And I urge each and every one of my colleagues to put the politics aside, quite frankly, and support this bill, have the House have a position, and let's challenge the Senate, and let's do it before November, before December. Let's do it now. I yield back.